Hello, hello, Jubilee Oil Tribe. How is it going today? It's a beautiful day outside. I just got back from going for a nice walk and listening to a book on Audible. I love to do that, just getting outside, but also listening to something fun is so great. So I really wanted to talk to you guys. Hey, Kathleen. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about giving items time to work. So some of us have had really cool experiences with some of these products, or maybe at our first oil class where we tried an oil and it was like an instant something. Maybe your sinuses were cleared from peppermint, or frankincense just really made you feel more, your mood was supported, those kind of things. We've had experiences like that. But I want to talk more about giving things time to work. So I'm going to give you one of my stories that I'm so glad that I stuck with something. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the compound effect and just how our bodies work. So my son did not sleep through the night. He is on the autism spectrum, also has OCD, ADD, a couple of things. So he's special needs, and he did not sleep through the night until he was 5.5 years old. And we tried melatonin, we tried a bunch of different things, and somebody had suggested using cedarwood and lavender in a diffuser for my son. And I got a diffuser, put it in his bedroom, put cedarwood and lavender in there. And the first night, he still didn't sleep through the night. And I did it again the second night, did it again the third night, still wasn't sleeping through the night. Still kept going. Fifth night, still wasn't sleeping through the night. It was like the seventh or the eighth night that he slept through the night. And we've been doing that consistently, and he's 10 now, and he still sleeps through the night. And I just want to tell you that that was life-changing for my family, that now I have a kid who sleeps through the night, because it was 5.5 years of me, he'd get up and he'd play for like an hour in the middle of the night, and that meant I had to be up too, because he's special needs, so he can't just be playing by himself. But I often think back to that and think, what if I would have given up after the first night? Because so many people, we live in a culture and a generation of people who are like, they want a quick fix, right? You want to believe those posts you see about, lose 30 pounds in 2 weeks, or use this magic cream on your face and all your wrinkles are going to go away, right? We live in that culture. And so many people, they'll try something for a night or two or a day or two, and if they are not seeing instant results, they are done. And I'm just so glad that I stuck with it for, and it wasn't even that long. Literally, it was like 7 or 8 days. But you will not believe how many people I know that will try something and they will give up after like 2 or 3 days. We just live in this culture where people don't want to give something time. And I know with these essential oils, these therapeutic grade ones that we have with Young Living, if you've got this reference guide, if you don't, you should get it. But if you've got it and you read just the first little part of it, it tells you how they work at a cellular level. God made plants amazing. I say this all the time. And they work at a cellular level in our body. Whether or not we're feeling stuff or not, they are working to clean our cells, repair our cells, help our cells. And so a lot of times I tell people and I challenge people to really give an oil consistent use for 30 days. Sometimes it's even better to go longer. But especially for emotional support oils, I know personally I have used Joy Over My Heart for a year, and it was amazing, and it helped me so much. Somebody who was formerly on, antidepressants, anxiety meds, sleep meds, different things like that. So I'm not saying that is your story. I'm just saying that for me, being consistent and giving things time to work has been so key, and I want to encourage everyone to do that. The other thing is just empowering you guys to keep looking for what would work for you, because we all have different stories, we all have different bodies, and we all have different starting places. So if you're young enough, if you're in your 20s and you're in this group and your body is already working pretty good still, I cheer you on, because if you can keep your body balanced if you can ditch toxins now and you cannot go through some of the things that I went through, because I'm 41 and I kind of had, everything was going good in my 20s and then 30s, and then I just was heading not in a healthy direction. And so it was like backtracking when I finally like joined Young Living and started moving towards natural wellness and ditching out toxic chemicals, starting with nutrition and things like that. It was like I was trying to undo some damage that I had done from making not good choices. So we're all starting out with different bodies, different, lifestyles in the past. And so what works for me may not work for you. And so I always love to empower people to use reference guides, dig in, find the information you need. You can always, go to your leader and ask them for suggestions, and they may know what's worked for them. But, this grassroots wellness movement is all about empowering each person to make healthy decisions for themselves and to stick with it. Because regardless of, if you had an instantaneous thing, I feel like that's more rare than people who stick with something and then see slow changes over time. And so that's why I wanted to talk about the compound effect. This is a really cool book. If you've never read it, I feel like it's super simple yet super profound. And so it's on Audible. You can listen to it if you're an audio book listener. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is because I've been thinking a lot about supplements, and I did share a video on this page just yesterday where Carla Green shares about, and she's been in the wellness field for like 35 years. She shares about the core supplements that every person should have, and she kind of compares it to a car. She says, you wouldn't want to drive your car if it didn't have the brake fluid, if it didn't have the transmission fluid, if it didn't have oil in it. You certainly wouldn't want to take your car out and drive it around because you know that it wouldn't function properly. It would probably break down. And she says there are core supplements that every person's body needs. They are probiotics, they are enzymes, they are antioxidants, and then omega-3s. And she says, and you can watch the video, I shared it. She shares so much more than I could ever share with you. But basically saying like, that's just basic fuel for our bodies to work properly. And she says some people, they'll start taking those, and even if they can't take them all, they'll pick one or two and they'll just start, make a small change, start with what you can. And some people will have like a night and day difference. And then other people, it takes like 3 or 4 months. And she says to really give your body 6 months before you make a decision about whether or not something is helping you. And that's the thing that I see so often. I see people, maybe try Ningxia Red for a month. And if it's not like, they're the Energizer Bunny that whole month, then they're giving up. And I just encourage you to like dig in and learn about antioxidants and what they're doing in your body and why it's so important. And to stick with it, because our bodies are amazing and they heal slowly over time. One of the areas that I always love to talk about is gut health. A lot of people don't even know they have allergies to food and things like that, and their gut is in a really bad place. And so that's why probiotics and enzymes are usually a really good starting place for people. And they don't realize that their energy, their immune system, their emotional state, all can have roots within the gut health. And sometimes it takes like 6 months to a year to heal your gut. And then you start seeing amazing changes in your health, in your skin, in your energy levels, in your immune system. And everyone is so, I feel bad, but everyone is like, so wants things to happen instantly. And a lot of times the damage we've done to our bodies has happened slowly over time. That's the compound effect. It's either a little good choice or a little bad choice consistently over time leads us in the direction of where we are going. And so my mission and my goal in sharing with you guys is to help you and encourage you to just keep making little small choices and being consistent with them and giving them time. Not to like try something for a week and then be like, oh, I didn't feel, an amazing difference within that week, so I'm going to give up on that. Gut health, like that's something I like to say. I know a lot of people will do an elimination diet. Gluten is something that is can be really impactful on your gut health if you have a slight allergy to it or an allergy to it. A lot of times people don't even realize they do until they give it up. They try giving it up. It takes like 2 months to get out of your system, which I know feels like forever. And then they try it again, and then they see all the symptoms. They have, you know, a digestive issue, or they have a skin issue, or they get sick, or all these things. And it took their body that amount of time to like process all of that out and to start to heal. And then when they try it again, that's when they realize, oh, this isn't good for me. And I've had that experience with Ningxia Red before, where it's like, I'm not the type of person that gets like the super crazy energy boost that some people do from it. But if I'm using it consistently and then I take a month off, it's usually like 3 weeks into that month that I took off that I'm feeling sluggish. Sometimes I catch a cold during that time. You know, so it's one of those things that I just encourage you to just give things time, give your body time to heal. I know one thing that my friend Liz Van Nice always shares is just how amazing our bodies are and how they will heal naturally. Like, I feel like God made our bodies amazing, and when we give them the right fuel, when we're not, you know, putting toxins and all these things on our bodies, they will heal and they will make amazing changes, but it's slowly. It's a slow process. And I just want to encourage you guys to keep moving in that direction. Keep moving towards wellness. Be consistent with your small choices. I know sometimes it's hard. We want to do all the things at once. We want to buy all the supplements, buy all the different things. And that's not, you know, always in our budget, but we can make one small choice or 2 small choices and stick with it for, you know, a good 3 months, a good 6 months, you know, and then maybe add in another good choice and maybe ditch a bad choice, right? We just make small choices slowly over time. Yeah, so if you haven't watched the Carla Green video, it's on this page. I just shared it last week. It is called The 4 Pillars of Health. And she really just basically lays out like these core supplements, you know, and start there, and don't, you know, sometimes we're looking for targeted supplements for issues we have, and those are great. But if you're missing those core things, you may not see really big improvements by trying to do targeting things until you get your, you know, core stuff under control. So, and also just stick with it. If you're trying an oil, like just look at my sleep story with my son Lennon. You know, if I would have given up on day 1 or day 3 or day 5, I would not be sitting here now, a happy mom who has a son sleeping through the night. You know, I might have struggled for years because I didn't stick with it. So I just want to encourage you guys, and hope you find this valuable, and have a wonderful day. Bye.